I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. TNTMTheShow presents Comicast 297 with your host,
the petrified Pablo Gunner.
and I'm JD. And we're here. We're talking nerdy to me. We're here to talk nerdy to you about this week's comics and maybe some nerdy news because, well, I haven't even discussed it with him about our nerdy news. I mean, is there anything new?
No, not really. What do you know? What the new games are for PlayStation Plus?
I got them, and I just didn't even really look at them. I know Just Cause 3, and there's an Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry for PS4. That's the two that I can remember off the top of my head.
Which one is that?
I'm not too sure. I've never played it. It's a Black Flag standalone DLC.
I know it was in like some other country, wasn't it?
I couldn't tell you. But those are the two for this month for PS4 that I know. Excuse me. The Vita had two that you can also play on PS4 as well. So, but I'm excited for Just Cause 3 if I can sit down and get time to play a PlayStation. So
I've played Just Cause 3 before, and it's solid.
Cool.
But I could do a video for it, I think, or whatever. Show some of it if no one's played it or whatever. Yeah, and then you said last week, what was it like? The Xbox ones? I
don't know. There was a rumored leak of Firewatch and stuff, which all that turned out to be false, I guess.
I had it, but I deleted it. I deleted all the things.
No worries.
My Xbox has been like, oh, dude, it's been such a piece of crap. Like, I've never had any more issues with any console in my entire life. It's just been garbage from, I wouldn't say day one, but like I've had so many issues, like connectivity issues the most. Recently, I have not been able to connect my control. Like, it would not connect. It was connected just fine. I ended up just unplugging it and then unplugging the Xbox and then plugging it back in. Worked all of a sudden. But then my internet wouldn't work. So then I had to like delete the pre-settings or whatever that I had for.
So your previous wireless settings?
Yeah, I had to completely delete it.
Mm-hmm.
And then reset it, and then it's fine. And then it dropped out in the middle of me playing Mass Effect. I was like,
what the hell?
Oh my God, this thing is the giant piece of crap. And I'm like, literally, I was like, I'm going to take this thing back. And I was like, but wait, I haven't played Gears 4 yet. And I'm like, maybe after I play Gears 4, but I was like, but I have to play Mass Effect because I'd already, but I'm like, I could get Mass Effect. I wish I could just port it over to the PlayStation and then pick it up in PlayStation. Unfortunately, I can't do that.
No.
So otherwise I would, because I really don't want that console except for exclusives like Gears 4. And who knows? I haven't played it, so I don't even know if it's worth it. But my wife's like, do you want to take it back? And I'm like, I don't know. Especially I don't want to say yes, because that to be an affront towards her since she got it for me for Christmas last year. So, but yeah.
Other than that, The Dark Tower came out this weekend. I'll end up catching it eventually.
I'm not into it. Never got into it.
I love some Stephen King films.
So I don't.
What about it? It comes out here soon.
I still haven't seen any of the trailers for it.
What? It's creepy.
And I have heard that they are.
It's creepy.
So
anyway, let's get to this week's comics, I guess.
Yes.
If you have any nerdy news you'd like to inform us about or discuss with us, hit us up on social media, Twitter, Facebook, anything. TNTM
this weekend they had Moriarty Minicon, but I mean, of course, it's the weekend, and
I work.
I think it was today, and yeah, I've been doing like anniversary activities, trying to. So
yeah, Pablo and his wife celebrated 10 years. So congratulations, Pablo and Pablo's wife.
Thank you.
Anyway, let's get into this week's comics. We have our own grading scale of buy, skim, pass. Variations of buy and skim, strong buy, weak buy, strong skim, weak skim. And, of course, pass for just like, just throw it away, use this kitty litter or whatever. And we have our best book of the week, our B-Bow.
B-Bow, yep, back in bag.
Where you get one of those pristine boards and the sleeves, just slide it on in there.
Did you tell them about the grading scale?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. You also have a tone. We have a tone. We have a timer.
Oh, yeah, we have a timer. And so for both reviewing it, it's 2-minute timer. It's just one of us. It's a 1-minute timer. Tells us when it's start to wrap. It's time to start wrapping things up.
Yeah, it's like the Oscars.
This is what I have this week, but you have to be so specific. I want year. I want because there's, yeah, you'll know after you hear it because it's very obvious, but. So very specific though on the year and everything, because they actually had two different shows and they were named
the same
thing, which is weird because one of them's a prequel, but it came later.
They're not even tied.
So
flat out, they're not even tied together.
Whatever. I don't believe that. So, anyways, yeah. So, and that's it, right?
The spoilers.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, we said the day. You said the day.
It's the 2nd,
August 2nd of 2017.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's get this party started.
All right. We'll start out with Green Lanterns number. What was it?
I only read Marvel stuff this week, I think.
So what number is that?
So 28.
All right. It's the Out of Time part 2. Sam Humphries is the writer. Eduardo Pansica is the pencils. Julio Ferreira is the inks, and of course Blonde did the colors. Alrighty. So what we got going on here is basically an introduction of a girl from Krypton, and they were like explorers and stuff, and she had courage to get away from her ship instead of running and hiding, so she saved her people and became one of the first Green Lanterns. And now these first Green Lanterns are coming to Earth, and they meet Jessica Cruz and Simon Bass, and the Green Lantern that created the lanterns says, "Hey, I've gathered you here to help Bethune and help him get away from me." And they all start infighting together after they learn they're Green Lanterns. And Jessica and Simon are tasked to solve the puzzle of training these people. The Kryptonian lets the ring kind of overwhelm her, and she kind of dies. So, man, there's desperate need to be trained as a Green Lantern.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, really good. I enjoyed it. The art was amazing. A lot of green, of course.
Yeah, tons.
But strong buy contender. I liked it.
All right, coolness. Right on. I'll have to read that one.
Yes, because Jessica kind of steps up to the plate, like hardcore.
All right, cool. Now, I didn't read this one. Dang it. I got The Unstoppable Wasp number 8. It's writer Jeremy Whitley, artist Rose Stein and Ted Brandt, color artist Megan Wilson. So this picks up exactly where it left off, which is they had the sleepover over at Janet Van Dyne's place. It is still being narrated via Janet Van Dyne. It's interesting because they go and visit those two ex-wrestlers that attacked that girl's parents' store, and they talk to them. They're like, "Hey, will you forgive me for attacking you and beating you up? You know, like I didn't mean to be violent. I'm trying not to be violent." And they're like, "That's weird. I've never had anybody apologize to me for that." And then she sets her up. Janet Van Dyne sets the whole group up with internships or whatever and programs at Hank Pym at Pym, where where he made Ultron.
Oh wow!
Because it got shut down completely that whole room once it was done, and so it's like, hey, now it's yours. And so they do have that. They have a gala for it. They get dresses made for all the girls. Bobby even comes in, Mockingbird, as a fellow scientist and trainer of these girls. They get the full shebang, and it's really, really awesome. And even what's her name at the end is like, "Hey, I need a last name. And I didn't really know my dad, and I didn't know my mom, but I know you, and I want a name that means something, and you mean a lot to me, so can I have your name as my last name?" And it's a really touching moment.
So what's the last name she takes?
Van Dyne. So
Nadia Van Dyne.
Yes. And so this is the last issue. I was waiting for this. And you have Jeremy Whitley, writes on the last page and stuff, and just thanking everybody and how they made this character into something. And they're like, hey, hopefully they can do a team book, maybe the girl book. I don't know. Or whatever. It would be cool.
Revive the A-Force.
They said themselves, if people speak up that they want something, Marvel will get it done. Marvel will make it, but people need to speak up and make it heard.
So you've read this run since basically day one, because I remember when.
Well, you told me. I think
I told you the first one. I got the first issue,
and then I started getting it after that.
And you were like, I couldn't get it off and on.
Bite and trade. Yep. If you like, I love it. But I think like, especially if you have any young girls, I don't think it matters either way. It doesn't have to be girls. If you have boys, if you have young kids at all, or a young niece, nephew, whatever, anybody in your life. This is grade A quality stuff. I think it's obviously means more for girls, I think. But
it's supposed to be empowering for them, but still, it's for everybody.
For everybody. Yeah. So, yeah, I almost forgot. There's a digital code in here. Ooh. We give away all the digital codes. So here, this one is tell me what you think of it. I would say buy it and trade if you missed it out on it. Because it might be like 8. That might be like 2 trades.
No, unlikely. It should be.
I hope it would be 1 full one.
Yeah, because, 8 issues.
Because this is like 1 full arc right here. But yeah, so here's the digital code. 368, U for Ultron, 6, X for X-Men, B for Bones, M for Magnet, 5, 2, 6, and Q for Quill.
All right, next up I have the War of Jokes and Riddles, Batman numeral 28. Tom King is the script. Did the rights. Mikel Janin is the pencils, inks, and cover. Wow, no wonder the consistency. June Chung did the colors, and of course Clayton Cowles doing the letters like always. And basically, yeah, we start out with a fight, and it's between Oh no, where am I at? Let's starting too far back. Oh yeah. Jim Gordon is going to see the Riddler and the Joker. Sorry, I can't talk today. And he meets with both of them, and they both want the bat. So Batman is being told this whole story by Jim. He runs into Catwoman and kind of helps save a mess up that she had. They kind of sleep together. That's what it looks like. And then she's back to stealing again. Then we have Deadshot and Deathstroke kind of sniping each other, and their bullets strike each other, and then they go to hand-to-hand combat, and it's pure chaos. Batman steps in and kind of stops everything. That's about it. I was kind of lost here because I really I have not read the last couple of issues. So, it's okay. The art's good, but I was just totally freaking lost.
This is continuing the war.
The War of the Jokes and Riddles, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. I'm going to give it a buy, actually.
Ooh. A buy, okay. All right,
next up, we both got Spidey.
Yes, we did.
Number, what, 20?
19.
Number 19, okay.
19. So yeah, Brian Michael Bendis, of course, writing. Oscar Bazaldua is the artist. Jason Keith is the color artist.
And Corey Petit did the letters.
Yes, indeed. So it's funny. It starts off with Genki,
as a superhero.
It's like he's daydreaming or something, and he's the avenging Avenger and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, they use this hero, and he's texting this girl about how they're gonna meet up and stuff. And then what's his name? Goldballs just leaves in the middle of the night randomly.
Yeah.
And just leaves a weird note.
Wink.
And so they're talking about it, and then they're also talking about how like maybe Miles shouldn't be
Spider-Man anymore.
Spider-Man. Like they're like, well, you were doing it in the other universe because there was no Spider-Man, and you were also bitten by a spider. Well, but in this world,
there's Spider-Man.
There already is a Spider-Man. So you're kind of like a cover band where you're good, man, but you're still the cover band.
Yeah.
Like
good as the other stuff.
And then there's also that his dad and mom have a talk, a long talk that they've been meaning to have for a long time, and she's still heard about it though, so she takes off. And then also you have Hammerhead, and he's going to get some stuff to take care of business.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because Miles is like, oh, I should suit up, but I'm still hurt. But so maybe I should stay out of the limelight. So I don't know. We'll see. But he's not going to do it for long, and then it's going to happen perfectly so that Hammerhead's he's going to pop up and Hammerhead's going to come at him.
So the cover's kind of misleading, isn't it?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, he's still hurt, and he does wear the costume like once in it, and he's still messed up. So, but yeah, a little bit.
I mean,
but that's comics. Like, I don't even really pay attention to a cover anymore just because I go, like, it's not going to be what the thing is about.
But it's still a dang good issue for it to be self-contained.
It was a really good issue. It was really
it.
solid. I like this talky stuff. I'm good with that. Like, there wasn't any action.
No.
And it was just, you know, it did move the story forward a lot.
So, yeah, and it
did
a lot of
different ways
too.
Yes.
So what do you give it?
I'm going to give it a strong buy and a contender.
I'm going to give it a strong buy and a contender.
I love this stuff. Digital code?
Here's the digital code. Let us know what you think. It's F for Fantastic, C for Carlos, M for Marco, U for Umbrella, P for Peter, 3 F for Fantastic, E for Eduardo, R for Richter, K for Kilo, H for Hotel, and D for Diego. All right. Next up, I got some soups. Superman number 28. Give me a second, and I'll get the credits. Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason did the story. Scott
Godlowski?
Yeah, thank you. Did the art, and Gabe Al-Daib did the colors. Rob Lee doing the letters. And, yeah, you didn't read this, and you missed out. Jonathan and Lois wake up, you know, and then they come and find out they're being carried by Superman. You know, they're sleeping in the RV and they're being carried by Superman. They're going to Washington, D.C. And they have a nice little discussion on where they're going to be going. So they head to the Smithsonian. And then they go through and start talking about World War II and the history of that and educating Jonathan about this. Then they keep walking and saying how the Korean War is the forgotten war because it's sandwiched between, you know, the World War II and Vietnam. And then they go to the Vietnam Memorial, and it's so good. And, you know, Lois rubs her uncle's name, and they educate Jonathan, and then they head out to Gettysburg, and they talk about the Civil War and everything, and they celebrate this Civil War person's birth date because he's been missing, and his body was never found because the battlefield like flooded or something like that. And they tell the whole history about the story there, the Civil War. They celebrate the birthday and educate Jonathan. And Clark kind of wakes up in the middle of the night and goes finds the body. He goes find the missing skeleton, and he returns it to the family so he can have a proper burial. And that's where we end, heading back to Metropolis for our next issue. We should expect some parallax according to the text. So, strong buy contender. Perfect.
Yeah, it's a sequel to the previous issue, yes, which I missed, but I did read, and yeah, it would have been my B-Bow as well had I read it that actual week, yep, you know, because it was amazing. And I'm going to assume that this is going to be your B-Bow because it is a direct sequel.
I don't know.
And I didn't expect it to pick up where it left off because the way he left, I was like, oh, it's not going to be completed. Like something's going to happen. But they actually did. It seems like complete this arc, the Independence Day thing going on, which is kind of weird though when they do stuff like that because when they write it, they were probably it was current, but it's not current now because it's already
past Independence Day.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if it's just done right.
It's done right. It's well done.
So yeah, you gave it a strong buy and contender, right?
Yeah, here you go. Oh, you need to read it still.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Did you get some Black Bolt? Black Bolt?
I did get Black Bolt number 4. Same writer, Saladin Ahmed, artist and cover art, Christian Ward, which I believe is the same. And man, this one is so freaking good, dude. Like, I just love this character work. So now they're chained to this pillar, both Crusher Creel and Black Bolt.
So the Absorbing Man and the men that can't speak.
Yes, but they can because their powers are nullified.
Okay.
So they talk and they're like this entity is like wants them to be silent, you know, and it's also cutting off their oxygen. So they're like, oh, we need to not talk because we're destroying all the oxygen we have. Crusher Krill Hogan's like, screw it, you know, like I'm not gonna be silent in my death. Like he wants us to be silent, screw it, I'm not gonna be. You know, I'm gonna die going out the way I want to, and at least. And so he tells him his whole story about him as a kid and growing up, how his dad was abusive to him after his mom passed away, like extremely and stuff. And then he learned how to box and stuff like that.
Does it mention Murdoch?
No,
Okay.
no, it doesn't. And you know, just like how he got his powers from prison, from Loki, you know, and everything like that. His other crew, the woman he met that he fell in love with, and stuff like that. Black Bolt does the same, like how he's talking about Medusa, and then Teleporting Pup shows up.
Ooh,
so
July Jaw.
So yeah, it's just great character work, so colorful. It's fantastic. I love this stuff when you get to know like the villains and you get their side of the story, you know.
Yes.
But I also feel though that it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm messed up because my dad, or I'm messed up because of my parents, and it's
so is Bruce Banner.
You have a choice.
Bruce Banner was abused.
You know. Yeah, and look at him, he's a Hulk.
Yeah, well, no, now he's dead, but I mean...
No, but what I'm saying is you have the choice to be a victim or the choice
to rise above.
Yes. And I have this theory that is like, you can be a Joker or you can be a Batman in life. Do you want to be a victim or do you want to be a hero? You know what I mean?
Good point. With great power.
So, yeah, anyways, this was an absolutely phenomenal issue, and I'm jacked for the next issue because of the way that this one ends, and just because it's being done so well visually and just completely story-wise altogether. So, yeah.
Strong by Contender?
You know it.
Alrighty. Here's the code.
F for Familia, Z for Zorro, M for Marcos, G for Guillermo, E for Eleuterio, Y for Yucca, B for Barrio, T for Tomas, 7, X for Xavier, L for Lupita, C for Carlos.
Next up, we have X-Men Gold, number 9. It is written by Mark Guggenheim. Ken Lashley is the artist. The colorist is Andrew Crossley and Frank Martin. And Cord Petit, the letters again. All right, here we go. This is like that group of hateful peoples, right?
Yes.
In Russia.
And, oh, yeah, we get this guy, and he's, like, building this armor that has, like, he has, like, green hair. And it's, like, this armor has whips and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But anyways, I just love the character work in this because Kitty goes on a trip to DC with
Pietro.
And so...
And then we get Rachel and Kurt kind of budding romance,
warming up. Yeah, it's great, man. It's freaking fantastic. And they go to dinner. It's nice, have a nice little moment, a chat and stuff. And they're going to Congress to like talk about how like, oh, mutants, you're segregating them. Like, hey, you know, they had the internment camps with the Japanese. You had all these things, you know.
Learn
it's
from
like,
the scrap.
You were all learn from it. Like, don't repeat the same mistakes. And they're like, oh, what about all the money, all the things you've destroyed? Okay. This world wouldn't exist if we wouldn't have saved it. So, like, you want to talk about money, like, there wouldn't be a world, you know?
Then the character Whiplash attacks the Senate meeting, the committee.
And kind of proves her point, but then they decide against it anyways, and I love this character that they introduce at the end. He's one of my favorite characters, like, one of my favorite villains.
It's from Mother Russia?
Yes. Yes, I love it. I love it.
He is a classic.
It's fantastic. So, what'd you think?
I think it was great.
It's weird because I still kind of feel like... Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
I thought it was great. The art's fantastic. I could get into the story without even really knowing what has previously gone on. And, you know, I've caught a few here and there. And they have a great tease for a character that I like. I mean, come on. You see the humanity between Colossus and Kitty.
Something was brought up.
The
crazy there.
The budding romance between Rachel and Kurt's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
and Kurt's in public. I mean, he's not shunned. I mean, he's having a drink at a restaurant.
He doesn't have the
hologram
image.
or nothing like that. It's just him. It's amazing. So, strong by contender. Sorry, that's it. Sorry.
Don't apologize. So yeah. It's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, there's so much, and it's weird that this, unless I got a different cover, is not a tie-in when the other issues were tie-ins.
Mm-hmm.
When this almost feels like just as much of a tie-in as those, even though it's not really. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Weird. But yeah, same here. Strong by Contender and digital code.
Here is your digital code. We have S for Storm, H for Havoc, A for Avalanche, G for Gorgeous George, 5, T for Thunderbird, C for Charles, P for Pietro, V for
Vladimir.
Vladimir, C for Charles, P for Pietro, and B for Beast.
Righteous. Now it's time for a commercial break, so why don't you listen to a word from one of our sponsors, Age of Comics.
What's the word?
The bird.
Bird's the word.
Back to some comics
Back to some comics.
with Star Wars Darth Vader number 4.
Darth Vader number 4.
Written by Charles Soule, penciled by Giuseppe Camuncoli, inked by Cam Smith, colored by David Curiel.
All right. And last time we saw Vader, he was kind of got his butt kicked. So he's on the ground on the bottom of this ravine, no leg, and completely beat the crap up.
And this robot is mocking him. This Jedi robot is mocking him. You have failed. You lost. Darkseid can't stand against the light. And he just goes, boom. He crushes him. He just destroys him. And then he uses his parts
To rebuild
himself, which was cool. I kind of felt like it was rushed, though. Like, it was kind of weird how it was very quick.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting him to be like, to see him fixing himself up because he knows how to work on stuff. Instead, it was weird because he just kind of like used the Force to rebuild himself. It was odd.
Hey, if you got it, flaunt it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It felt very rushed. And then, like, I thought he was going to have to, like, fight all those trials and tribulations to get back up to him, too.
Well, I mean, next up, the Jedi's just trying to leave.
Right.
So he's trying to just get in his Jedi ship and get out of
And
there.
take off so he can go defeat
And then
the Emperor.
He senses a presence in the Force. And
he's like, how?
It's impossible. No, it can't be true.
And so Vader uses his weakness against him, which is the people.
Yep, he tries to kill hundreds of people by letting the dam go.
He doesn't try.
And then he succeeds.
He succeeds. Yes, he does.
And it's a distraction enough that he can kill the Jedi.
So, yeah.
And steal his lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's Vader being ruthless. I mean, Anakin is truly dead here, man. These are bestial tactics. I mean, this is the art of war at its greatest. Like, flat out. If you've never read Sun Tzu's Art of War, this right here displays all of his tactics.
So I'm going to say that you gave it a strong buy
and a
contender.
Oh, absolutely. This was amazing. This is a great arc. Good thing we know how Vader got his first lightsaber.
But I wanted to see more. Like, I wanted it to be more drawn out. Like, this was, we saw him fall at the end of the last issue. Not even like before the end of this issue was he already
he was
back
already
on top, you know? And that kind of, like I said, I wanted to see him working on himself, like with tools and everything.
You want to see him struggle.
I wanted to see that struggle. I wanted to see him fighting against those like going through those things again, even though we kind of saw him, but see a different side of it, and then go like, not like have him, because you don't want to verbalize and have him talk too much, but just show so that he goes, I mean, they showed like, yeah, I'm going to use his weaknesses against him, and that's how I'm going to win. But like, there was no, like I said, it happened really quick. It was too quick for me.
You don't think it was framed well?
No, it was not. I didn't feel like deserved to me.
Okay.
You know, like it should have been more. So yeah. So it's solid. I feel like it's still strong buy, but not a contender.
Okay.
Because of that. So yeah. And here's digital code.
Ooh, I'm gonna try to do some Star Wars, man. So F for Finn, C for Chewbacca, M for Mara, 9, Z for Zed. I can't think of one. Or Zybrak. There we go. G for Gardola the Hut. There you go. 2, 4, 5. B for Biggs. Z for Zed. Or is it no 2 and then it's Z for Z? Or is it 2? Wow. They look exactly identical.
2.
So 2.
2Z.
2Z. Okay. There we go. Sorry I messed that up, guys.
Yeah, whatever. So on to Iron Fist number 6. Writer Ed Brisson, artist Mike Perkins, color artist Andy Troy. And so this was freaking cool, man. Like, so this is him. He's traveling, you know, he's trying to go back to Kunlun, and then his plane gets attacked. So it's weird because it's like these ghosts, and every time they hit him, it's like he's seeing somebody else that's telling him to like give in. It looks like somebody that's like diseased or something like that. And then Shang-Chi shows up to help him. And he's like, hey, someone's put out a hit on you. And they find out it's one of the guys that he left living like on that island that he had left. And they're like, yeah, what did you think? And so yeah, this crew, one of the attackers runs away, and they follow him, and it leads them right into a trap where this guy was. And so now the guy has control of Shang-Chi to fight Iron Fist to the death. So we'll see how he handles this. It's going to be pretty crazy.
What you give it, buddy?
I love it. It just keeps on. It keeps on getting better. Not hugely, but you know, just it's that.
Still making me hype for 13 more days when all of that drops on Netflix.
Oh yeah, for sure.
13 more days.
I'm loving it. I am loving it. So yeah, it's good stuff. That's another thing.
Defenders.
Yes. So yeah, strong by contender.
Groovy.
Here is digital code. F for Finn, Z for Zarbon, M for Mankey, R for Richter, E for Egon, Z for Zarbon, F for Finn, N for Nova, 8-9, L for Logan.
Awesome. Next up, we got some Generations. This is our first Generations book, isn't it?
Yes.
So let's just explain the premises of it. I mean, go ahead and read out the credits and stuff.
Credits.
And this is the Incredible Hulk Generations.
Writer is Greg Pak, artist Matteo Buffoni, color artist Donna Sanchez Almara.
Okay. And basically the premise behind this idea is that somehow Amadeus Cho, the current Hulk, and is sent back in time to when Bruce Banner is youngly and fresh Hulk. And this is going to be happening with each different Marvel character.
Mm-hmm.
We're just not sure how this time jump works or what causes it.
Yeah.
So that may be something that happens at the end of Secret Empire.
Perhaps.
Because that's normally how it works. We get comics for just supposed to be after an event, during the event.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and review this thing.
Well, we don't have to worry about that because we're not really into it.
Not really.
So, yeah, this it is literally like right when Banner turned, well, almost, right?
Yeah,
Banner turned Hulk. The military is attacking the Hulk, and Totally Awesome Hulk shows up, and he's like, hey, don't attack him. He ends up, so they end up duking it out, and he's like, hey, we need to go somewhere that's far away from here, so it's just you and me. They duke it out, and, it's crazy because then, Hulk transforms down
into Banner.
They get away, and they do a distraction, but then it releases a monster, and so they have to go to the aid, and then Banner's like, he's like, hey, man, you got to get a control of your of the Hulk, and he's like, well, I'm in a different situation because my dad, abused me, and that's why, like, I just have this building rage monster inside me.
And then the Hulk and Hulk kind of go and destroy this
monster. They team up.
And, it's interesting.
But, yeah, it is interesting. It's weird because it's like, one of them is like going like, hey, you need to get control. And then the other one is like,
hey, you need to lose control.
You can't control, like, do your best, but
let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. And it's a big comic, man.
So
I mean,
it's a one shot, I think, right?
Yeah.
As far as I know. It is solid, it looks great, it's interesting, but I'm like, I don't know if I need it.
No, you don't need it, but it's dang good.
It's good, but I don't need it. Like I go, like, where does this fit in any way, shape, or form?
It doesn't even really give good character development.
You know?
At least not as much insight as we could have had.
It's cool to see these two together as well, but I don't know. I feel weird. I feel conflicted about it.
I still feel that it's art-wise, it is amazing. I like the art. I like how it merges the new style of the Totally Awesome Hulk with that classic Hulk thing from the origin style, and it was great. It did give some of the dialogue felt a little useless. I mean, yeah, this is not the meeting of the generations and stuff that I would like to have seen.
I like seeing a new Banner Hulk, though. You know, like newly. I don't know. There's something about that that I liked a lot.
That savagery.
Just like him being like new and But
I'm gonna give it a buy. It's a good issue, but it's just not there.
Yeah, there's in multiple ways. Yeah, it is a little repetitive too, when like you said, when it comes to dialogue. So yeah. Yeah. A buy is fitting.
A buy. All right. Here's the digital code. Let us know what you think. So F for Familia, C for Carlos, M for Marcos, 3, 8 for Y for Yggdrasil, 9, 1. F for Familia, Q for Quintana, 5, and C for Carlos. All right. Got some Green Arrow here in just a second. He did pull it up.
You actually read it?
Yeah.
No way.
I actually read it. It's actually pretty good. Anyway, we got the Traveling Hero, Part 3. What number is this issue? It's
28.
Number 28, like everything else.
Right now, yeah.
Benjamin Percy is the story. Juan Ferreira. Is that right? Ferreira?
Yeah.
Is the art and colors. Nate Picos of Blambot did the lettering. And Otto Schmidt did the cover, of course. Alrighty. And we got Lex kind of being confronted by Ollie. And he's like, I just kind of want to talk to you real quick. And then people start kind of jumping to their deaths. It's pretty interesting. And it's not just one person, it's several. And Soups comes in and saves all these people, and it's just like crazy. And they're like, some sort of hack happened on the internet, and it's releasing all these people's secrets, like affairs and gambling problems and stuff like that. I mean, it was pretty messed up. And it's the Ninth Circle again. So Lex evidently had dealings with them before, and he turned them down. And again, people are still jumping, still jumping. It's pretty interesting. And then there's this thing where it's about laughter. I didn't quite get it. But Superman and Lex and them kind of make everybody laugh, and they don't want to kill themselves anymore.
Okay.
I don't get it.
They get help from Batman and some Joker gas.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. But anyway, now Ollie's going to Gotham.
Okay.
So, I mean, overall, it was a good issue. I was a little confused.
The art looks superb.
The art does look great. I was a little confused because I'm not sure. I didn't really catch the color.
Yeah, I've been following it. Yeah.
But it was a good point for me. I enjoyed the camaraderie between Lex and Ollie, and how Ollie taught Lex some humility, I guess.
Okay, cool.
So, strong buy. Contender.
Okay, well, cool. Right on.
All right.
I'm going to move on to some all-new Guardians of the Galaxy number 7. Writer Jerry Dugan, artist Greg Smallwood. That's it. And so this one is about Drax. It's Drax and Gamora, and they're having a talk like, hey, like, why are you like this now? and he explains it. Like, he's like, oh yeah, I went hunting and I found these hunters, they were poaching all these animals, and so I messed them up. I destroyed them, and turns out that they're actually slavers as well. And then so he once again he destroys, and he's like, yeah, I don't like to tell people my name because then they run away because they know I'm Drax the Destroyer. So I don't tell them. And once again, this guy was like, oh yeah, like the slaves were like, don't kill him. And he killed him anyways. Well, it turns out that if he dies, they die. So he essentially caused their deaths. And so he's like, that's why I won't kill anymore, is because of my killing, because of my destroying, that is why I won't destroy anymore. And then they're also talking about how like part of him is in the Soul Stone, and they show part of it, and it's like him when he had like the goofy cape and he's like playing the saxophone. And then they're like, there's a part of you that still exists in there, and they're like, what is something? And it's funny because he has a saxophone still, but he wants to pull it out, but he's
too shy.
He just won't, like that part of him is kind of
gone. It's dead.
Yeah.
It's dead. His soul is dead.
That part of him is gone. So yeah, so it's just great. Once again, like I love how they're doing character work with each issue, and each issue it's like the main artist is like when it's the group stuff, Aaron Cooter, and then when it's the character stuff, it's different artists. And it's like almost every other issue is character work, but it's like it's going so well, but there's character work even in each issue, but it's every other one is like just mainly focused on like one. It's working phenomenally well. Nice. I'm loving it. It's so good. And it's crazy because I don't even have this on my list. I need to add it. Yeah. I should have added it from the get-go because it's been so good this whole time. So yeah, it's a strong buy and a contender, and here's the digital code. X for X-Ray, V for Vegeta, G for Gorgon, 2-3, F for Frank, 9-5, S for Saiyan, T for Tome, B for Bones, N for Nega.
Alrighty. So next up is Champions. I skimmed through this one.
Marvel's Champions, number 11. And it's weird because I think I missed the last issue, but I'm not sure because it was a
Secret Empire tie-in.
So I felt a little lost in this issue, and I don't know if it's because I missed the last issue or if it's
You've missed it, Secret Empire. Because let's get to the credits.
Because we got the first one, but I don't think I got the second one.
Yeah, let's give it the credits and we'll explain.
Yes. So credits: Mark Waid, writer; Humberto Ramos, penciler; inker Victor Olazabat; Edgar Delgado, colorist;
and Clayton Cowles did the letters.
Yes.
And basically, what happened is that Captain America ordered Vegas to be basically wiped, and the Champions are doing cleanup work, and
they're looking for survivors. Yes.
So
and they can't find any.
Yeah, and then there's pairs.
Yes, so you have the new Falcon.
Yeah.
And
Amadeus.
The new Hulk, yes, Amadeus, and they're looking for bodies and they can't find any. And then you have another group, and it's the new Patriot, the new Iron Man, Ironheart,
and the new Spider-Man.
And the new Spider-Man. And same thing. Well, actually they do find bodies, but they are cooked.
Yeah.
Like in this plane, and so they're like Patriots, like, I don't know if I can handle this, like, and then you have Viv and Wasp, the new Wasp,
new Vision and new Wasp,
and they are also looking for people,
and they're finding bodies as well.
And then in the end, the new Patriot finally finds a baby. So they're like, hey, this was a huge loss, but there's this one win.
Yep.
And to me, I was very lost because I didn't know that, hey, Ironheart is now part of this team. New Falcon is part of this team.
Patriot's part of the team.
New Patriot's part of this team.
So we're having a Cyclops.
New Wasp is part of this team. I think he was in the other issue where they were doing that other mission, going to help the Inhumans.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I missed the previous issue. So I was lost. I don't remember any of these people being on this team, and I think it's because I missed the previous issue.
And speaking of Psych,
yeah,
I mean, we're supposed to be teased with that next issue.
So I kind of feel like it's partially my fault that I'm lost, but I kind of feel like it's partially
the book's fault for not kind of catching me up.
And also, I'm not really liking this
clean up Secret Empire thing.
Yeah.
I want them to have their own adventures and not be, you know, I mean, I like how they're saving civilians and life matters and
Right.
all.
I like this group being together. Like, I love the idea of all these new champions, but I don't know. I
don't
just don't like the reason. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like this setting.
This team do something else.
Right.
So all right, it's a buy.
Yeah, because I'm like, yeah.
It's a buy.
It's a buy.
So here's the digital code. Let us know what you think. F. Why is it starting with F every freaking time?
For you.
F for Falcon. C. C for Captain. M for Marco. 8-7. J for Julius. P for Peter. V for Victor. U for Ultron. J for Juliet. 1-7. And what's next?
Dick.
You didn't read your dick.
Oh, I'll get to dick. Don't you worry about that.
Your dick. Okay. It's number what? 28.
26.
26. Okay, see, it's behind.
It is.
So
it has been started.
Nightwing number 26, written by Tim Seeley. Javier Fernandez is the artist, and Crystal Tamayo is the colorist, and Carlos Manuel is the letterer. Alrighty. So we have an intruder in Dick's bedroom, and
it starts with a naked Dick.
Yeah.
So you know it's going to be a good one.
Starts with the naked Dick. he has memories of his funeral and stuff, and they're talking about the funeral, a pregnant hacker, whatnot. And then he's getting out the shower, and he's got a towel on, and it's the Huntress. And the two of them kind of chit chat. And we get stuff with the blue-haired chick. I can't remember her name. I can never remember.
Tracer or something?
Something like that. And they keep visiting the grave, whatnot. And then, of course, the Huntress and Dick kind of go out and kick ass. I mean, that's kind of what they do. They're doing the little vigilante thing, whatnot. And you said Tracer's her name? She kind of puts back on the mask. And, they find Dracul, Dick and Huntress, which I guess he's a vampire. I guess that's what Dracul. And we find out that Spiral is the enemy the entire time. So that's pretty much what the issue is, more or less. I like the art. I like the art direction. I like the pacing. I didn't really care for the Tracer stuff. I mean, it's a Dick book. It's called Nightwing. I wanted to focus on Nightwing.
But that's his GF, or was.
No, it was. That's right. It was. I mean, it's strong buy, but it's not a contender.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. All right. That concludes our nice little list for the week.
Strong buy, not a contender. So here's the deal. We still have a lot of books, and we can go over that when we're finished. Announcing the runners-ups. What are those ones over there?
These are basically some strong buys, whatnot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, my runner-up is going to be Spider-Man number 19. I think that was 19.
Okay.
And you called my back and bag. It's Superman.
It is Superman. Yeah,
Superman
no doubt.
26 is,
and I have no doubt that it would probably be mine as well if you've read the previous issue. And like I said, that issue number 27 was totes gonna be B-bow material. So yeah, man, so much goodness here. I love it.
That Guardians thing, it looked pretty good from my end.
Yeah, Guardians was freaking amazing. Gosh, there's so many good things. I'm gonna have to say runner-up right now. Unstoppable Wasp.
Okay.
I love me some Janet Van Dyne. You know, like I said, I've said this. Say it again.
Damn it, Janet. I love you.
Yes, it reminds me of my I tell her, and she's like, "You always give me crappy characters." Because I tell her she's Janet Van Dyne.
See, and now she's gonna be freaking Selena Kyle. I mean, what's her name? Michelle Pfeiffer, man. Oh man, Janet Van Dyne is Michelle Pfeiffer.
That's gonna be great.
And Hank Pym is Michael Douglas.
I love the throwback stuff was my favorite.
I could totally freaking see that casting too.
Yes, I want to see more of it. I want to see more flashbacks. But yeah, Wasp. I love that ending. I want to see more. I hope something becomes of it. But you know what? When it comes down to it, I think what really was just so well done. Yeah, All New Guardians of the Galaxy #7 was absolutely superb. I mean, Black Bolt 4 was so great. So was X-Men Gold 9 and Spider-Man. But it really comes down to, like, it was just, and then the sax, like that was fantastic. Yeah, that was and then the classic outfit, you know, like it was, yeah, it was great. So yeah, good stuff. That's it. Murder, She Wrote, but maybe not, because I still have a lot of books left that I did not read and review. I have Avengers #10, which is a tie-in, but it looks really cool. I love the creative team on here, which is Mark Waid and Mike Del Mundo. So I'm going to have to read that. Of course, Turtles, which might be my B-bow, because, you know, I love me some Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
The Wife, feel this cover. Feel this cover. I think it feels gross.
Oh.
Ugh. It gives me that, like,
weird.
But it works. It's a book that we actually used to pick up when the Ambassador was around. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. This is #7. The cover feels really like, ugh. Yeah. And then also what came out is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Dimension X #1. So of course I gotta get that. Cyborg #15. Heathen, which I think actually came out last week, and it's #3. I need to add that to my list. And then Robotech #1, which I know we got like a digital copy of this because Titan always sends us their books, but I'm a lazy dirtbag and I prefer to read my stuff in hand, like this man Stan the Man says.
Yep.
Better to have them in your hands, you know.
Yeah.
But that's not going to stop us from going to titty bars. It stops me because I'm married, so I don't go anywhere. I think actually I went once. I went to TD's with her once. It was her suggestion.
What?
I got a little liquor in her. The Irish, you know, they get that liquor in them, and they're just they're unleashed.
Yeah, the best titty bars are liquor up front, poker in back.
Yeah, she wanted to go to the titty bar, and so that's what we did. It was interesting. It was weird, you know, experience. But yeah, but yeah, we had our anniversary. It's been fun. Flew by, man. Flew by.
Yeah.
Flies by. What's been going on with you?
Kids, man. I got other stories to tell, but it's just personal matters.
Not for this podcast.
Yeah, personal
maybe
matters.
On a Nerdy After Dark. Maybe. Yeah. If you want. That's up to you. That's up to you. That's when we like to get to the nitty-gritty on the Nerdy After Dark.
Dirty laundry like that.
So we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Maybe, if he's willing to share it with me. But yeah, so I might do a separate podcast just for those books.
Mm-hmm.
If I have time. Or I'll do written reviews, or both. We'll see. Whatever I have time with, I'll do. So it might be like that one I did a part 1 and part 2 of. We'll see if I have the time. But most importantly, need to get this out ASAP. And
so tonight we have some Dragon Ball Super episode 102. Check the community on Facebook. I'll be posting it probably within the next 2 hours.
I still need to watch Game of Thrones episode 3. So, which has been great so far, though.
Tomorrow, Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty. Yeah, I watched Rick and Morty as well. That was great.
Yeah, the Thunderdome, the Mad Max one.
Yes, the Mad Max one.
I'm gasoline. I made a chrome.
But it's
no, you're not.
It's weird because I feel like
Summer's pregnant.
In previous seasons, the family stuff was the like not the main focus. It was more of the backdrop.
Uh-huh.
And the crazy random stuff was the main focus. And now it's swapped around in this new season, which it was still a good episode, but it felt weird and different because the family stuff was the main focus and the weird random stuff was the backdrop.
And now we're getting Pickle Rick and,
in the next one.
Therapy. All kinds of crazy stuff.
So, yeah. So we Lord Vader did answer the quote or did answer the theme song. So I'm going to have to hook him up with one of these comics that we didn't give away.
Yeah.
One of the ones that we didn't give away that we just mentioned. So, yeah. And
congratulations, Lord Vader. Again, you are the Dark Lord of the Sith and the winner.
And yeah, and whatever new games there are for PlayStation Plus, we'll try to do videos of those and get those out as soon as possible. I've been playing a little more. I tried to play a little more Mass Effect.
Okay.
Still liking it. And it's good stuff. So, but like I said, I really want to play Gears 4 and just be like,
I'm done.
But I already started Mass
Effect,
Effect, so I feel like I have to beat that and then Gears and then might return. I don't know. I'm not sure because it's just been a piece of junk.
Yeah, like I said, 13 days, and then we get some Defenders.
Yes. Oh, that's another thing. Voltron has new episodes out. The new season.
Season 3.
I love that show. So you should definitely check it out.
I watched Stranger Things.
Yes. What did you think?
Stranger Things was good. I enjoyed it.
I bought the soundtrack. It's so good. That's to me, that soundtrack just it takes me back, dude. Like I love that like synth and just like the feel of it. Like I said, aliens, but like kind of like Predator, but kind of like there's a lot of older stuff mixed in there.
I like how
that it's inspired by.
It's really like the D&D episode, D&D beginning thing lays out the
whole season.
Yeah, for the Demogorgon and everything.
Yeah, the upside down world.
Yep. And then, of course, there's the teeth of the Thessal Hydra.
Yeah.
The Thessal Hydra looks amazing. I like the chemistry between the sister. It's Barb, man.
Barb. I love me some Barb. Oh,
Barb,
yes. Oh.
It's not enough.
There's not enough Barb. You want more Barb, you're going to have to go to Atchie. And I think she's doing other stuff, too.
I don't know.
I'm always keeping an eye out for.
But I wish I'd watched this before the Comic-Con we went to, man. I really do.
Yes, dude.
I would have had a lot more questions and been like, hey, you did good work. I mean,
yeah.
The acting in it is superb. The writing in it is great. I can't wait to see where season 2 goes.
I really like the sheriff because he seems realistic and he has baggage too.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that. Like there's baggage, but they didn't go too much into it, but enough. In fact, everybody has baggage, and they go into it a little bit, keep you interested for more.
Miss Klepto, Winona Ryder, great.
Winona Ryder, Miss Klepto, I like that.
Oh man, great performance.
She did really good. She did a good job, but I feel like she's not. Like she's kind of nutty, so she pulled it off.
Yeah.
Even if it's typecast, like it still worked.
The kids did great. 11, great.
11 was superb. I thought she was fantastic. The nerd kids, like the geeks.
Mike.
That's I love that because like in the 80s it just like it felt and then
I'm a child of the 80s and to be honest, when that movie takes place I was being born. I mean,
yeah,
the series takes place. I would have been only a few months old.
So to me it's very great too because it is a Department of
Department of Energy.
Yeah, Department of Energy facility, and that's where I work, not that place. And then there's a small town, and it's in a small town similar to that.
Yeah.
And it's like almost like everything's just been in this time bubble where like they're stuck almost they're stuck in the 60s when it was built, like the buildings and everything, like not just where the facility is, but the whole city. So it's really like, to me, I was like,
the atmosphere looks beautiful.
To me, I was like, oh my God, they could have stuff like this here. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I was like, oh my God, I was like all freaked out, like watching this show.
Just use your compass, man.
So, it's all spinning. Yeah, I love it. It's a must see.
Yeah.
Must see, right?
Must see.
I love the music, the soundtrack. In fact, I was listening to the soundtrack and I was like, I can't listen to this right now because it's putting me like, it put me through because the way that the soundtrack's made, it's made specifically like I think with each episode or whatever. So like you're going through those same emotional notes while listening to it, going like, oh, this is bringing up those same emotions I had watching it. So did you ever finish Iron Fist?
Oh yeah, I finished Iron Fist.
And thoughts on Iron Fist?
Iron Fist is pretty good. I mean, it's not what I wanted it to be, but then again, I want it to be Danny Rand in the costume,
Yeah,
I want it to be here.
It's a progression. It's going to take time.
So yeah, It was pretty good.
I feel like it's fair to say that it is the least good of them all, but I still think here's the thing: is I feel like it sticks true to the character. So if you don't like it, I feel like you kind of don't like the character. You know, especially if your complaints are, oh, it's a white guy, and I'm bugged that he's a white guy and he's not Asian. That's what is in the comics. So if you don't like that, then you don't like Iron Fist. Like that's fine. I'm not telling you have to like them, but I'm just saying like your complaints are kind of invalid if they're about the comic book character himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt they did the character well. It's weird because I feel like I relate to him the most because he is the most like naive and the most like kiddish and the most like best person, the warmest person, you know? So that intro sucks too for Iron Fist.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that intro at all.
Yeah.
So is it time?
I just had to find it. It is on Apple
So
Music,
good.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
That's where I got it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't wait for second season. But it's so hyped.
And
But yeah.
what else is coming out soon? I mean,
I know there's other stuff. It's weird because there's a lot of Marvel stuff on whatchamacallit right now. On Netflix, but I want the old stuff. I don't want the new stuff. I want the old stuff so that I can get caught up on the old stuff.
Yep. So I mean, 13 more days and we get some Defenders.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. It's only comes on Netflix. I don't even know what other movies and stuff come out this month other than The Dark Tower, and that's it, really.
I kind of is that a comic or a book first?
The Dark Tower?
Yeah.
It is a book. It is a Stephen King book.
But they also made a comic of it,
There's
right?
been several comic series.
Okay.
It's a book series, actually. And this movie is based off of
I need to just start listening to books on tape on my way home or on my way to work because there's no way I'm going to finish Game of Thrones.
Oh, the Inferno Squadron.
There's
Star Wars Battlefront 2 Inferno Squadron, man.
Harry Potter, all these books that I need to read that I just don't have time at work anymore.
Yeah.
Or didn't before, but definitely don't now. So yeah, I think we're good here now.
We're good.
Yeah. So make sure you check all of our stuff out though. There's always more videos. Hopefully I can edit some now and post some more. I think maybe the last Albuquerque Comic-Con video I have to post. And then I have maybe a few more videos for SabakuCon.
What about your trades?
And then what about my trades?
No, you haven't posted one in a little bit, man.
I am doing them every 2 weeks,
Okay.
the trade reviews, because I was doing it on a weekly, but it's hard to keep up like reading one and doing a review every one. What's been the hardest is that I read Saga Volume 7, and it destroys my heart every time I flip through that book to do the review, and I go, can't do this. I can't do it. So I need to just either skip it or, which I have. I have a review that's like partially done, and but I just moved on to Lazarus Volume 3.
Okay.
Which is so good. So good. But it's not, anyways. So yeah, but yeah, and more YouTube stuff. Always on the YouTube with the Nerdy Fitness vlog every other day, doing that thing. And then this every week, and
whenever we can, other stuff.
Eventually, like I said, I'm still trying to find time for the 100 subs.
Yeah, and we got 300 to Comicast coming up soon.
Yeah, 300 coming up soon.
Jeez, man.
I need to really plan that out and see when it's coming up, because I might actually be on vacation that week. So
yeah, we'll see.
And you might be by yourself on that one.
Throw a party with some tequila. What's up?
So anyways, yeah. So keep an eye out for all of the stuff at TNTM the show. That's where it's all at. Stay nerdy, planet Earth, and
keep your eyes hungry for
comics. Stop the broadcast.